Hello, it is Sunday and I am coming back out here just to kind of show you the progress that I did actually get made. I did actually be able to come out here several more times, don't mind me. You know, you come home from church, you just throw on some different clothes. Anyways, that being said, I'm going to flip it around so that way you can see what I got accomplished because it looks really nice. So I was able to get this all filled up with tools and get, you know, there's not anything in there right now because Michael is working on his truck. Again, you know, a boy in his truck. So I got tools all in there, trash sorted out. There's some other stuff that I'll find like new homes for and what have you. This bin is like, it's completely trash. But look, this whole pile is cleaned up, you know. I have some more plastic I got to cut because it's actually good. It's not bad. But there was like boxes and a bunch of totes here and I was able to get all that done. I feel so proud. So this is where I have to lay down the boards because right now our rock is very unlevel in here. So it needs to have more put down and leveled out. But for now, I just was putting down the boards in order to put all the tool stuff on it because they kind of have a hard time rolling around anyways. And so, yeah, and then more organization to go. Obviously, I'm not done. But that being said, you know, one little chunk at a time. One little chunk at a time. And you know, a lot of times in the past, I have literally taken everything out of the barn and then slowly start putting it back in. But with the weather and what have you, I hate doing that because then it's kind of like a mad rush to get everything in. And so it's easier to do it a little bit at a time. And like I had said before, I wanted the tools done so that way I could work on projects as I go. Because like my shelves over there that I need to be able to put the rest of the totes up there, there was some boards that still needed to be cut for that section, and then I couldn't find the saw and everything else because good gracious, that was like I think last summer that I started all of that. And so now it's like I want to get that finished, but I couldn't find all the pieces. And so yeah, it's just every time a little project comes up, somebody takes some tools. Hi baby. He doesn't like being on camera, do you? But you're so cute. Love you. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to be able to get stuff done, and we needed to be able to find our tools a little bit easier because with so many people, as you can imagine, everybody using stuff as the bigger kids. I turned the camera back around. You don't really care to see my barn anymore. As the bigger kids get bigger, they do projects too. So they'll come and get tools out and what have you. And we never intentionally just try to leave stuff laying around or whatever. It just kind of sort of happens. I blame some ADD, ADHD going on in different people. But that being said, it'll be like you're working on a project. You expect to come back the next day. And before you know it, the next day turns into 2, 3, 4 days later, a week later, a month later, whatever. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it ends up that way. And then unfortunately, I am extremely guilty of having a tote or a basket or something and bringing it out here and sitting. Probably should get better about that. So I'm hoping with all my tote systems that I can get better about putting things away immediately instead of just setting it down and coming back to it later. That is my winter dilemmas because I tend to do that in the winter time when it's too cold. I just set it out here and say, I'll come back later. But anyways, that being said, everything's doing good. I'll take you upstairs so you can see what I got done up there. It's hot up here though. Much warmer. Much warmer. Okay. So I'm going to turn you around again. Okay, so before we only had about 4 or something, I think 4 drywall boards. I was able to get 5 more put on. And so the progress is coming. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. I already have one cut. I have to cut them all a little bit shorter for certain sections. And so, yeah, one step at a time. But that is all for today. I have some other editing to get done and some videos that I will show you later. But for now, I got to get back to work. So, hope you all have a happy Sunday. I hope you all had a blessed morning if you went to church. If not, find a church. No, I'm joking. Actually, I'm not really joking because you really do. Like, you need some Jesus in your life. But that being said, I hope you all have a good afternoon. Bye.